Namaskar dosto. So today we're doing some nerdy stuff with the ZX81. We've had some video issues. We bought a composite video from eBay and we weren't happy with it. It wasn't very successful. I think the board had some faulty connections on it. So I'll show you what we've got and what we plan to do about it. Okay, so we have an issue 1 ZX81 and you can't see through the heatsink there, but it's the old ULA that doesn't have a back porch, and I've replaced the old regulator with this Traco one and the whole thing runs much cooler now. You can see my test leads connected up there, and they take you to this little eBay board. It's got a 555 chip on it. The quality doesn't look that good. You see those solder blobs there? I'm not very impressed with it. That's today's picture. But it's not always like that. What I found was I couldn't get a stable picture unless I was physically touching the board or pressing on these connectors. Then it would give me a stable picture. So what I've had to do, it's a bit bodgy, warm up the soldering iron and just reflow all the solder blobs to get it working. So as you can imagine, I'm not too impressed. So we're going to be not fitting that. We're going to remove the old modulator and replace it with a new composite video that we've got on the internet. I bought this ZX2020 ZX81 hybrid composite video mod with the replacement RF socket from youmakerobots.com. So what we're planning on doing today is removing this and replacing it with a new composite mod. Apparently this is for ZX80 and ZX81 for the princely sum of $11.99. I haven't opened the box yet. Sorry, still sealed there. There we go. So what have we got? A couple of leads. Here's the new composite unit. Doesn't seem to be too much to it. There's a couple of dip switches here and a couple of trims there. And these dip switches seem to have something over them so that I can't flip them. There's obviously a reason for that. We also have a couple of pins and a plastic board. Now, a long while ago I did read through the instructions for this online, but looking at this board and this one, 2 holes here and 2 holes on here, so I'm assuming that is to insulate, and I'm guessing our pins are standoffs for that. Okay, so when we take this out and we have this in situ, we're looking at these. They may not be standoffs for that. They could possibly go in there. That's probably a more sensible situation, hence the leads. So that's for the video in and the 5 volt. Obviously this is our video out, so we have in, 5 volt, out, and we'll be grounding through here, no doubt. Okay. We can pop that back on there. Yeah, we can reuse that. Desolder those points. 1980. It's now 2022. And she's still going strong. So, how are we connected here? Is there lots of work to remove it? I don't think so. So that'll be our next job, removing this. So for now, we will put this nice and safe back in its case. So we're not running around in a mad panic wondering where those little pins are or anything. So there's today's work. So, first things first. That's the 9 volt, sorry, the 5 volt line cut now. And the video in. Video in cut. Obviously that's video out and this is ground. So we've got these 2 to remove there. What else could be holding it in, I wonder? Well, these 2 to remove there. That's your power, that's your video in. That's the ground, that's video out. Right. Let's see how she goes. Seems to be some sort of coating over this. And as it heats up, you get a little puff of smoke with a sort of burnt plasticky smell to it. Not to worry, we'll soon melt it off. I suppose in a hobbyist setting like this, same with the flux, I'm not too worried about getting a little puff of something up my nose, because it happens so rarely. It's unlikely to cause me any long-term harm. So, starting to come away. We've still got a little bit more to remove. Well, there's no more of those weird fumes, I don't think. I think they must have sprayed the board with something. That's probably what gives it this lovely green colour. Getting a little bit clearer. Is it worth a little tweak around yet? Warm that up. A little bit of leverage for persuasion. That's slipping out. Okay, so you can see there's a grounding on there. These are where we came through, and there's the old modulator. If this is any use to anybody, as I say in previous videos of my mods, let me know. I don't mind passing things on. So, I'll just do another quick go where we removed it, just to tidy those up a bit. So I think they're clean enough. So if we look now at the underside of the new board, we can see it's going to need insulating, hence this piece. Now that doesn't sit flat against it because we have a protrusion here. Okay. The protrusion is actually the video out composite signal. These ones round it are the ground, and that's the actual composite signal. Hence the insulation, because that, in contact with the grounding, we're not going to have very much success. Okay. Okay, so I've been having a look at this, and I think the easiest thing to do, a couple of my spare test leads. If I solder those in for the plus 5 volts and the video in, then I can take these where I want them on the board. I'll just cut them off and solder them in place. And I'll use these standoffs to join to the board with the insulation in between. Okay, so slight change of plan. I decided it would be better just to solder it properly. If I can get this to focus, I can show you. There we go. Yes, I know it's not the most fantastic soldering job in the universe, but I very rarely do any soldering these days. So, what can I say? To Ricky at YouMakeRobots, who supplied this for a very reasonable price. Sorry about the mess. Okay, so we've soldered the standoffs in now. Now, this little bit of plastic here, it broke off on this one, so it was a bit fiddly to try and get it lined up the same as this one, but we got there. So it fits onto there. Obviously that standoff is holding it at the right distance, but as I've lost the standoff from here, it isn't. So we're going to have to improvise something with that. It just broke off. It's just a little piece of plastic. I'm sure we can wedge something in there so that when it's together, it's at the right distance. Okay, so the board is now in place. As it happens, we managed without the spacer, and we managed to get it lined up. After a fashion. So what we have left now are the 5-volt in and the video in to connect. Video in goes here and the 5-volt in goes here near this resistor. Okay, so here we go. We've got our 5-volt line and our video in. You'll notice there's no insulation on the video in. This was due to a quick slip of the hand while stripping it to solder onto here. But as you can see, it's not going to contact with anything else. 5-volt lines here, that's happy out. And the video in line, as you can see, was an exposed, uninsulated wire anyway. So I'm quite happy to have that bare copper onto there. We've done continuity tests, there's no shorts anywhere. So I think we're ready to turn on the juice and check it out. Okay, so we're plugged in and everything's looking good. So we'll power up. Okay, it's possibly these dip switches. Take the power off. And let's flip them over to the other way around. They're a bit fiddly. Okay, sorry, I had to put you down for a second while I flipped the dip switches. They were fiddlier than I thought with one hand. So, and they were coated in something that stopped me flipping them, so I had to use a screwdriver. As you can see, I managed to break through so this one is down, this one is up, because my old ULA doesn't have the back porch function. And she's under here, under this heat sink. I haven't touched the trims. The image looks nice and stable. Everything seems happy now. Okay, I've had a little twiddle about with these trims, but it doesn't seem to have made any difference at all to the picture. But it's working, so we're happy out with that. So yeah, that's very decent. It's from YouMakeRobots and it cost about 12 quid. I'm very happy with it. It was quite a simple matter to fit as well. A little bit fiddly because I managed to lose that little plastic spacer, so I had to kind of prop it in place while I soldered it in place, but it's happy enough, it's stable enough. And also I managed to strip the insulation off there through my own silliness, but that's happy enough as well. It's not going to short on anything. I did a continuity test on everything before I put any power near it. So up to press, our issue 1 ZX81 has a heatsink on its ULA. It's had the voltage regulator replaced with the Traco one. All runs a lot cooler now. And we now have composite video out with thanks to YouMakeRobots. I'll put a link to where I got it from. I'll put a link to where I got the Traco power from. And the heatsink I got from eBay. So thank you for watching, and if you need to contact me or ask me any questions, feel free to use the comments, or you can join the ZX81 group on Facebook. I'm fairly active on there. I shall leave a link to the group. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.